How can a newborn creature survive when the world around it freezes to 40 degrees below zero? The Arctic winter shows no mercy to anything small or weak. Winds sweep across the frozen land like invisible knives. Darkness stretches across the sky for weeks at a time. Snow piles higher than a grown animal's back. Food becomes scarce, and every living thing must fight simply to stay alive. Yet somewhere beneath this frozen wilderness, tiny heartbeats are quietly beginning their journey. Hidden from the brutal cold, a secret life waits to emerge. But what kind of animal could possibly raise its young in a place like this? Today, we explore the life of the Arctic fox. Far beneath the snow-covered ground of Greenland's frozen tundra, a mother Arctic fox prepares a safe place for her future cubs. She chooses a den dug deep into a hillside where icy winds cannot reach. The tunnel twists through layers of frozen soil, leading to a chamber that stays warmer than the outside world. Here, in late spring when the snow still blankets the land, the mother gives birth to a small litter of blind and helpless cubs. Each newborn weighs less than a small apple and cannot see or hear the world around it. Their bodies are covered in thin gray fur that barely holds warmth. Outside the den, temperatures can still drop far below freezing. But inside this hidden chamber, the cubs press closely against their mother, sharing the little heat they have. During their first weeks of life, the cubs depend completely on their mother's warmth and milk. They cannot walk far, and their eyes remain closed for nearly 2 weeks. The mother rarely leaves them alone for long because the Arctic land is filled with dangers. Polar winds can freeze a tiny body in minutes if it is exposed. Hungry predators also roam the tundra, searching for easy meals. Snowy owls glide silently through the cold sky. Arctic wolves patrol the frozen valleys below. Even larger foxes from nearby territories may attack young cubs if they discover the den. To protect her babies, the mother fox stays alert at all times. Every sound in the wind could mean danger. As the days slowly grow longer and summer begins to touch the Arctic, the cubs start opening their eyes for the first time. Their small world expands beyond darkness and warmth. Now they can see the walls of the den and the shapes of their brothers and sisters moving around them. Their legs grow stronger each day, and soon they begin stumbling clumsily across the dirt floor. Curiosity fills their tiny minds. They nibble on each other's ears, tumble into small piles, and practice playful fights. These early games may look harmless, but they are actually the first lessons of survival. Through play, the cubs develop balance, speed, and coordination. One day these skills will help them escape predators and chase prey across the icy land. Soon the cubs grow bold enough to approach the entrance of the den. Outside, the Arctic tundra stretches endlessly beneath a wide sky. Snow still covers much of the ground, but patches of rock and moss appear where sunlight reaches the earth. For the cubs, the outside world feels enormous and exciting. At first they only peek from the tunnel entrance, while their mother watches carefully nearby. The cold air bites their noses, and the bright light makes them squint. But curiosity slowly overcomes fear. One brave cub finally steps onto the snow. Its tiny paws sink into the cold surface, leaving the first footprints of its life. Life outside the den becomes a constant classroom for the growing cubs. Their mother brings them small pieces of food to introduce them to the taste of meat. Sometimes she returns with lemmings, tiny rodents that live beneath the snow. Other times, she carries the remains of birds or fish found along the frozen shorelines. The cubs sniff, bite, and chew clumsily, learning how to eat solid food for the first time. Hunting will eventually become their greatest skill, but for now they watch carefully as their mother demonstrates how survival works in the Arctic. As summer progresses, the cubs begin following their mother on short journeys around the den area. These first adventures are not true hunts yet. Instead, they are lessons about the land itself. The tundra may look empty, but it hides many secrets beneath its frozen surface. The mother fox teaches her cubs to listen closely to the faint scratching sounds beneath the snow. These sounds often reveal lemmings moving through their hidden tunnels. When she hears one, the mother suddenly leaps high into the air and dives headfirst into the snow. Moments later, she emerges with a struggling rodent in her jaws. The cubs watch in amazement. This powerful jump, called mousing, will one day become their most important hunting skill. Even during the warmer months, Greenland's weather can change without warning. Powerful storms roll across the tundra, bringing freezing rain and strong winds. When danger approaches, the mother quickly gathers her cubs and leads them back into the safety of the den. Inside the tunnels, they wait while the storm roars above them. These moments teach the cubs an important lesson about survival. In the Arctic, patience can mean the difference between life and death. The land rewards those who wait and punishes those who rush. As autumn slowly arrives, the cubs have grown much larger and stronger. Their once soft gray fur begins changing into a thick white coat that blends perfectly with the coming winter snow. This transformation is not just beautiful, it is a powerful survival tool. The new fur traps warm air close to the body, protecting them from brutal temperatures that will soon return. At the same time, the white color helps them hide from predators and sneak closer to prey. The cubs are slowly becoming true Arctic hunters, but the most difficult season is still ahead. Soon the sun will disappear below the horizon for long stretches of time. Darkness will cover Greenland's frozen wilderness once again. Temperatures will plunge toward -40 degrees. Food will become scarce, and the young foxes must rely on everything they have learned. The playful cubs of summer will soon face the harsh reality of Arctic survival. Their journey into the polar night is only beginning. Autumn slowly fades across the frozen tundra of Greenland, and the young foxes feel the world changing around them. The sun begins to dip lower each day, casting long shadows across the endless snowfields. Soon the land will enter the long polar night, when darkness can last for many hours and temperatures can fall close to -40 degrees. For the young Arctic foxes, this is the moment when childhood truly ends. Their bodies are stronger now, their fur thicker, and their senses sharper. But the Arctic does not care about age or experience. Every animal must prove it can survive the coming winter. As the days grow shorter, the young foxes begin spending more time away from the den. Their mother still guides them, but she slowly allows them to explore farther across the tundra. Each step across the frozen ground teaches them something new about their harsh home. The wind carries thousands of scents across the snow. Some smells belong to food hidden beneath the surface. Others warn of predators roaming nearby. The young foxes learn to lower their noses to the ground and read these invisible messages carefully. Survival in the Arctic often begins with a single scent carried through the cold air. Food becomes harder to find as winter approaches. Many birds have already migrated south, and the brief Arctic summer that once supported life has ended. The young foxes must now rely heavily on lemmings, the small rodents that tunnel beneath the snow. These tiny animals are one of the most important food sources in the Arctic ecosystem. When lemming populations are high, Arctic fox families can thrive. When they are scarce, survival becomes much more difficult. The young foxes quickly learn to listen for the faint scratching sounds beneath the snowpack. Their large triangular ears are perfectly shaped to capture these quiet movements. One evening, a young fox hears the sound for itself. Beneath a thick layer of snow, a lemming moves through its hidden tunnel. The fox freezes completely, its ears turning toward the noise. Slowly, it lifts its head and prepares for the jump it has watched its mother perform many times. With a sudden burst of energy, the fox leaps high into the air and dives nose first into the snow. For a moment, everything becomes silent. Then the fox lifts its head, gripping the small rodent firmly in its jaws. This is the young fox's first successful hunt. A simple meal, yet a huge step toward independence. But winter hunting is never easy. Snowstorms often bury the tunnels that lemmings use, making their movements harder to detect. Thick ice layers sometimes form on the surface of the snow, blocking the fox from reaching prey below. During these difficult days, the foxes must search far across the tundra for any opportunity to eat. They scavenge leftovers from larger predators, explore frozen coastlines for dead fish washed ashore, and even dig through old snowdrifts where birds once nested months earlier. Every scrap of food becomes valuable in a land where energy is life. The young foxes also begin to face new dangers as they explore wider territories. Arctic wolves patrol the frozen valleys, searching for anything smaller and weaker than themselves. These powerful hunters can easily overpower a young fox if it is caught alone. To stay safe, the foxes rely on their speed and alert senses. At the first sign of danger, they sprint across the snow with incredible agility. Their light bodies allow them to run easily across the soft surface where heavier predators may sink. Sometimes survival is simply a matter of being faster than the one who is chasing you. High above the tundra, another silent hunter watches the foxes carefully. The snowy owl glides across the dark sky, its pale wings nearly invisible against the winter clouds. While these birds often hunt small rodents, a careless young fox could also become a target. The foxes must always stay aware of the open sky above them. A sudden shadow passing across the snow can mean danger is already close. Quick reflexes and constant attention become essential tools for survival in this unforgiving environment. As winter deepens, the polar night finally arrives. The sun disappears below the horizon for long stretches of time, leaving the tundra bathed in dim twilight or total darkness. Temperatures plunge even lower, sometimes reaching 40 degrees below zero. Yet the Arctic fox is one of the best animals on Earth at surviving such extreme cold. Its thick winter fur traps layers of warm air close to the body. Even the fur on its paws acts like natural insulation, protecting its feet from the icy ground. Beneath that fur, a compact body shape helps conserve precious heat. The young foxes begin to understand that survival during the polar night depends on careful use of energy. Running constantly would burn too many calories when food is already scarce. Instead, they move slowly and deliberately across the landscape, pausing often to listen for hidden prey beneath the snow. When storms arrive, they may curl tightly behind snowdrifts or inside small shelters they dig into the snowpack. Their bushy tails wrap around their bodies like warm blankets, protecting their noses and paws from freezing wind. Despite the darkness and brutal cold, life continues quietly across the frozen wilderness. The young foxes are no longer helpless cubs hiding inside their den. They have become skilled survivors, capable of facing the Arctic winter. Each successful hunt strengthens their confidence. Each narrow escape sharpens their instincts. The lessons learned during their early months are now guiding every movement they make. But the Arctic still holds its greatest challenges ahead. Winter will stretch on for many more months, testing the foxes with deeper snow, longer nights, and even scarcer food. Some young foxes will succeed and grow stronger. Others may not survive the unforgiving conditions of Greenland's polar wilderness. For those who endure, the final chapter of their journey is still waiting. The young foxes must one day leave their birthplace behind and carve out their own territory in one of the coldest places on Earth. The polar night now surrounds Greenland's frozen wilderness completely. Darkness stretches across the tundra for long hours, and the air has grown colder than at any time before. Temperatures fall close to -40 degrees, turning every breath into a cloud of ice crystals. For the young Arctic foxes, this is the most difficult chapter of their lives. They are no longer sheltered cubs inside a warm den. Now they must rely only on their instincts, their strength, and the lessons they learned from their mother. In the Arctic, winter decides which animals will survive and which will disappear. During the deepest weeks of winter, the young foxes spend most of their time moving across vast, snowy landscapes in search of food. The tundra appears silent and empty, yet life still hides beneath its frozen surface. Lemmings continue tunneling under thick layers of snow, protected from the worst of the cold. These hidden rodents remain the fox's most important source of energy. The young foxes walk slowly, pausing often to listen carefully. Their ears tilt toward the faint scratching sounds below the snowpack. When they hear movement, they prepare for the precise jump that has become their greatest hunting tool. A fox suddenly leaps high into the air and plunges nose first into the snow. Its body disappears for a moment before emerging again with a struggling lemming in its jaws. Each successful hunt provides only a small meal, but in the Arctic, even tiny victories can mean survival. The fox quickly eats the prey, gaining just enough energy to continue searching for the next opportunity. This cycle of hunting, resting, and searching repeats day after day through the endless winter darkness. However, winter also brings periods when hunting becomes nearly impossible. Powerful storms sweep across the tundra with fierce winds and heavy snowfall. The air fills with swirling ice crystals that reduce visibility to only a few meters. During these blizzards, even the toughest animals must find shelter. The Arctic fox often digs small holes into deep snowbanks, creating temporary resting places protected from the wind. Inside these snowy shelters, the fox curls its body tightly and wraps its thick tail around its nose. The tail acts like a warm scarf, helping trap body heat while the storm rages outside. Despite its remarkable adaptations, the young fox still faces constant danger. Food shortages can weaken even the strongest hunters. During difficult winters, some foxes must travel great distances across the tundra in search of better hunting grounds. These journeys can stretch for many kilometers through freezing winds and deep snow. Sometimes the fox follows the scent trails of larger predators such as polar bears. When a polar bear catches a seal along the icy coastline, pieces of leftover meat may remain on the frozen ground. For a fox, These scraps can provide valuable energy during times when prey is scarce. But following powerful predators is also risky. A hungry polar bear might not welcome a small scavenger approaching its meal. The fox must move cautiously, staying alert to every movement around the feeding site. Quick reflexes and careful timing allow it to grab pieces of food and escape before danger arrives. These moments reveal the incredible intelligence and awareness that Arctic foxes develop while living in one of the harshest environments on Earth. As the long winter slowly continues, the young foxes grow stronger and more independent. Their bodies are now fully covered with thick white fur that blends perfectly with the snowy world around them. This natural camouflage allows them to approach prey quietly without being easily seen. Their paws remain protected by fur that insulates them from the frozen ground. Even their small, rounded ears help conserve heat by reducing the amount of exposed skin in the cold air. Every feature of the Arctic fox's body has evolved to survive this brutal climate. Eventually, the young foxes begin to travel farther from their birthplace. The time has come for them to leave the territory where they were born and find new lands of their own. This journey marks an important moment in the life of every Arctic fox. By spreading across the tundra, they reduce competition for food and create space for future generations. Some foxes may travel dozens or even hundreds of kilometers before settling into a new territory. Along the way, they face many dangers, but they also gain experience that shapes them into skilled survivors. Months later, the darkness of the polar night finally begins to fade. A faint glow appears on the horizon as the Arctic sun slowly returns. Daylight stretches longer across the frozen land, bringing a small hint of warmth back to the tundra. For the foxes that survived the winter, this moment marks the beginning of a new cycle of life. Soon the snow will soften, birds will return from the south, and lemmings will become more active beneath the ground. The land that once seemed empty will begin to fill with life again. By now, the young fox has completed the most dangerous chapter of its early life. From a blind newborn hidden deep inside a den, it has grown into a resilient hunter capable of surviving the brutal Arctic winter. Many of its siblings may not have made it through the harsh season, but the survivors carry forward the strength of their species. One day, this fox may become a parent itself. It will dig a new den into the frozen soil of Greenland and raise its own cubs beneath the snow. Those tiny cubs will face the same powerful winds, the same freezing darkness, and the same endless search for food. Yet they will also inherit the remarkable abilities that allowed their parents to survive. The Arctic fox's story is not just about one animal living in the cold. It is a reminder of how life adapts, endures, and continues even in the most extreme places on our planet. In a land where winter seems unstoppable and temperatures can freeze almost anything, a small white fox still finds a way to live, hunt, and raise the next generation. In the silent wilderness of Greenland's polar night, survival itself becomes the greatest story nature can tell.